governance and state building, trade and infrastructure, and macroeconomic stability. One of the main focus of this year's policy formulation is Vision 2060, where Somalia envisions a secure, stable, and democratic nation, and to achieve the status of per capita middle income by 2060. The specific objective of the vision in the short term include the promotion of peace, security, reconciliation, justice, and the rule of law. In the medium term, the vision aims to transform Somalia into a knowledge-based, as my colleague previously said, that provides a skilled and competitive workforce and fosters entrepreneurship. The motto of the vision is the commitment of President Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, which says Somalia peace with itself and peace with the world. The new vision is to be derived from a dialogue among all stakeholders and a consensus built on a forging ahead with the national development plans. As we commemorate International Peace Day, let us recognize the vital contribution of the Somali National Economic Council under the Office of the President and for their dedication as well as their expertise. I encourage universities and research institutions to include peace and development in their studies. We're not only working on policy development, but we want to see more or less on that topic because it's an area where research are overlooked. And most of the time when we're looking data, when we're looking information, there's no reference. I would like universities, research institutions to look into that area. I also urge the inclusion of women in peace building and state building process. As women are an integral part of sustainable development, their courage, innovation, and determination have the potential to transform the Somali country. Let us pledge to create an enabling environment for women. Thank you, and may the spirit of today
So thank you very much. I think I have the right microphones. I would like to invite Dr. Ali Sheikh Ahmad, who is of the East African Association for Development and Research, who I believe is also the founder and former president of Mogadishu University.
One of the founders. Yeah.
One of, yeah. Founded in 1997, and was working in Mogadishu through the difficult times, and is a very important part and a very important person for the background and the establishment of higher education in Somalia.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dhammaan madaxda fadhida, safaaradaha, wasaaradda, qalka baarlamaanka, iyo dhammaan ururada bulshada, dhammaantii waad mahadsantihiin. Waxaan si gaar u mahadcelinaynaa jaamacadda nabadda University for Peace baan u mahadcelinaynaa oo ku soo dhiiratay run ahaan marka la yiraahdo dalkan inay yimaadaan ku soo dhiiratay oo geesinimo ay ku yimaadaan waxaan rajaynayaa markaan hadlo insha Allah translation yar baa loo sameyn doonaa. I'm speaking Somali language, so there's someone translate for me. Thank you very much. waxaan aad ugu faraxsanahay run ahaan dhammaan markaan aniga maqlo waxa loo dabaaldagayaa nabadda waa isku naxaya markaan Soomaali ahay sababtu waxa weeye waxaan soo xusuusanayaa boqolaal kun oo 40 sano la soo dhaafay aan iska dilay annagu aan iska dilay ama annaga iyo jiiraankanagu aan iska dilay baa soo xusuusanayaa saadaradeed madhaha waa loo dabaaldagay laakiin waxay xusuus noo tahay Peace Day xusuus culus waxay noogu tahay inaan xusuusano nabadda macnaha ay ku fadhido run ahaan aad iyo aad dawladaha safaaradaha ka furay iyo UN-ka hay'adka ka tirsan oo dhammaan ku soo dhiiraday inay noo yimaadaan meeshana waa u mahadcelinayaa si aad iyo aad u weyn waxaan isleeyahay Afrika markaan ahay Soomaaliya Afrika ka tirsan tahay run ahaan waxaan isleeyahay markii caalamku Afrika ka hadlaayo caalamku cadaalad nooma sameeyo laana jirooyinkanaga ma sheegi karaan oo dawladaha ay ka cabsanayaan Mareykanka China dawladaha waaweyn marka Afrika la tacaamulayaan danahooda waa og yihiin laakiin runta nooma sheegaan annaga waxaa jira annaga nabaddu saddex cadow bay leedahay waxay leedahay saddex cadow bay leedahay waa jahliga iyo dulmiga iyo corruptionka saddexdaa cadow haddaan Afrika laga qabanin oo lagula talinin oo laga kaalmaynin nabad Afrika ma ka dhacayso waxa maanta isdilaaya waxay ku dhasheen dulmiga ku dhasheen waxay ku dhasheen jahliga waxba la barin waxay ku dhasheen cadaalad xumada iyo corruptionka jira ku dhasheen saadaradeed waxaan u jeedaa magaalada Muqdisho iyo dalka Soomaaliya 700 kilomitir ah oo 20 milyan ka badan maanta ay ku nool yihiin meel ay waxaa jirta intaas oo milyan oo maanta iskuul aadi baan qabnaa marka nabad ma haysano intaas oo caruur oo jidad ku dhasaasan nabad ma haysano marka waxaan dhihi lahaa aan xusuusanna maalinta nabaddu qaybta ay ka tahay waa run Soomaalidu waxay dhahaan nabad baa naas la nuugale laakiin naaskiina waa gooyeen marka naaska caana ma ka yimaadaan yani naaskii nabadda waan goynay maalin walba waa goynaynaa saadaradeed naaska in la nabad geliyo oo ka wada tashano ayaan ku dadaalaynaa bahda tacliinta si gaar ah waxaan ugu jeedinayaa nabadda inay ka shaqeeyaan ururada bulshada odayaasha meesha fadhiya iyo dhalinyarada fadhida rag iyo dumarba run ahaan dhowr iyo 30 sano ee soo joognay si xoog leh ayaan u sameynay ururada bulshada haddaan nahay dawladdan Soomaalida aan soo dhisnay boqolaal kun oo ilmood baan wax barnay intaas oo kun oo iskuul baan dhisnay jaamacad baan dhisnay haddaysan ururada bulshada ee Soomaalida waxa sameyn lahayn maanta safaaradana ma joogeen dawladda Soomaaliya oo wasaaradana aan ku faanayo madaxweynahanagii oo maanta ka qaatay PhD jaamacadana ma jirteen saadaraad waxaan rabnaa dawladda iyo ururada bulshada nabadda in si xoog loo wada shaqeeyo aad iyo aad waxaan ugu mahadcelinayaa this university baan aad ugu mahadcelinayaa thank you very much so I say goodbye
Thank you so much. So there was that kind of conversation that happened in the room. And my former president, I'm a graduate of Mogadishu University, so he picked me to do the job that I can still perfect my English, so to do the translation. So thank you so much. So Dr. Ali Sheikh Ahmed Abu Bakr is a remarkable person. He's someone among many others who have stayed in the country and established education programs and education institutions during the Civil War. I remember I was one of the students of Mogadishu University. We used to go every morning not knowing that we will return home. And indeed, many of our friends never made home. So we are really glad. Some of the remarkable things that touched me about his speech is that Professor says, when I hear peace, it gives me memories of the thousands and the hundreds of thousands of Somalis we lost for the war. So let's also pay a tribute and remember today for those of us who lost their lives. He also talks about how much he's appreciating and how much he's grateful to see embassies in Mogadishu. We lived together with Professor Bide and many, many Mogadishu without embassies. Mogadishu without governor, Mogadishu without a president, Mogadishu without police, Mogadishu without anything. So he's so also grateful to see the difference that today we have the ambassador of the Republic of the People of China, we have SRSG, we have our ministers, our cabinet. So he's also appreciating that. He talks about 3 enemies we have in Africa that if not tackled, peace will not be sustained. That is lack of education or lack of inclusive education, corruption, and subjugation, political corruption. So he talks about that we need to really tackle those things which are really related to governance in order to sustain peace. He reminds us the thousands and the hundreds of the millions of the Somali kids who are out of school, that we need to remember them today as well, as we talk about the SDGs. SDG number 4 talks about inclusive education. Finally, he concludes the role of the civil society, where he says, without the civil society, women, youth, universities, across the board, there wouldn't have been today any form or any functioning state for Somalia. The Somali state was reestablished by the efforts of the Somali civil society. Today, he is remarkably encouraged that we have ministers and we have embassies, not because of any other alien effort, but the effort of the Somali civil society who worked hard and made this happen today. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Dr. Ali Sheikh Ahmed and his student. So we have nearly finished our proceedings today, and I have to say that it has really been engaging, and I'm very grateful and thankful for all of the comments and the discussions that we have had. We have yet to call the representative of UP students, and this is Jibril Afere, who is currently the Director of International Cooperation in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and also currently studying for his master's degree with UPeace.
Thank you, Steve. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'll begin with a quote. Peace is not something you wish for, it is something you make, it's something you do, it's something you are, and something you give away. That's a quote from the late John Lennon. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me it's an honor for me to be here today. It's a good morning, good afternoon. My name is Jibril Afere. I am now the new director of the International Cooperation Affairs of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A former diplomat in Uganda, in Djibouti. I am a better diplomat and a better now director because of UPeace. I want to thank UPeace for their contributions. I'm delighted to be here on this special day of peace. On behalf of the current and the past UPeace students, I want to thank UPeace administration, their staff, and their lecturers. UPeace had given Somalia an opportunity at the beginning of that dialogue, a conversation in Ethiopia, and now. So UPeace had really given the Somalis to fulfill their global learning opportunities. And I thank them on behalf of the students past and present. University of Peace is an institution for higher education dedicated for the study of peace, created by the General Assembly Resolution 3555. The University of Peace has been training leaders for Somalia or for others in the past decades. It's a unique global academic institution with thousands and thousands of students. Its master's and doctoral degrees, UPeace trains future leaders and explorers and formulates their strategies and practices in various contexts and addresses the cause of multiple problems affecting human and global well-being, and thus contributes the process of peacemaking and peace building. UPeace experience is realistic and unique, therefore empowering and transformative and cultivating critical thinking for its students. We need to ask this question: how do we make permanent peace globally? And especially how do we make permanent peace here at home in Somalia? Permanent peace for me is not a dream. It's sincere, it's genuine, and it's aspiration for peace. I believe enduring peace can only come by respecting for each other. We all have obligations to value each other as individuals and tolerance. As a citizen of the world, I am a Somali citizen. I do not want to live in the past. I want to live in the future. With fulfillment in peace, harmony, cohesiveness, and tranquility. Peace is the direction we take for bringing growth, prosperity for our nations. If we do not have peace and harmony, achieving political strength and economic stabilization and cultural growth will not be impossible. Moreover, peace brings, before we spread peace to the notion of peace to others, it's imperative that we all bring into fruition peace within ourselves. Like UPeace, University of Peace, we are the ones that must build relationships with peace, with different backgrounds and committees, and break barriers and prejudice. Somalia is my home. I am a product of the diaspora, left here when I was 12 years old, went to the US, and then came back to Somalia to serve Somalia. As a diplomat, now as the new director of International Corporations Affairs, which is fitting. Today is the International Day of Peace, and I am the new director of International, which I will hand-in-hand work with the ambassador from China and our esteemed UN representative and my colleague from Italy and other nations, international nations that are here in Somalia, which I will lend my hand to cooperate and elaborate with their efforts. And I thank them on behalf of, I know my minister is here, but on behalf of Somalia and on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So Somalia is my home. The reality, as the Minister of Foreign Affairs Deputy had mentioned, even our President, Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, is in the front lines of this war against the terrorist Khawarij. So, and because he wants to free his nation, Somalia, and his people from terrorism, free from war, free from bombings, and free for other atrocities. And we will soon have an everlasting peace and harmony for Somalia, Somalia at peace and peace within the world. As the President's motto was, Somali nabada, dunidana leishis. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. I would like to conclude the presentations today and invite to speak with us His Excellency, the Minister of Information, Daud Awais, the Ministry of Information is the one that I feel very close to in Somalia, and the Minister is the 13th person in this post with whom I have had the pleasure to interact. Minister.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Members of the Cabinet, members of the International Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today, on the 21st of September, we gather here to commemorate the International Day of Peace, organized by University for Peace. This day serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of peace in our world and the urgent need to foster harmony, understanding, and reconciliation among the nations and the communities. As we reflect on the significance of this day, I would like to emphasize the unwavering commitment of the Somali government to the pursuit of peace in this country. As we commemorate this International Day of Peace, we reaffirm our dedication to creating a nation where harmony, stability, and prosperity prevail. Peace is not merely an abstract concept, it's a fundamental necessity for the well-being of our people and the progress of our country. We recognize the devastating impact that the years of conflict and instability have had on our nation and its citizens. However, we refuse to be defined by our past. Instead, we choose to shape our future through a steadfast commitment to peace. The Somali government is fully aware of the challenges that lie ahead in our peace-building journey. We understand that peace is not achieved through words alone, but through concrete actions and meaningful engagement with all stakeholders. We are committed to fostering an inclusive and a participatory approach that ensures the voices of all Somalis are heard and considered. To achieve lasting peace, we are actively working towards strengthening the foundations of our society. We are investing in robust institutions that promote justice, accountability, and the rule of law. We are building a responsive and inclusive governance structure that addresses the needs and aspirations of all our citizens. We recognize that peace is not solely the responsibility of the government only. It requires the collective efforts of every Somali individual, community, and organization. We call upon civil society groups, religious leaders, women, youth, and all members of society to join hands with us in our pursuit of peace. Together, we can build bridges, heal divisions, and promote understanding among our communities. The Somali government is committed to creating an environment where dialogue and reconciliation are prioritized over violence and conflict. We are actively engaged in peace negotiations, working towards sustainable solutions that address the root cause of disputes and promote long-term stability. The fight against terrorism in Somalia is a testament to our unwavering commitment to peace. The ongoing offensive led by the government is a clear demonstration that we will not tolerate the presence of those who seek to destabilize our nation. Let us stand together, resolute and determined as we work towards a future where peace flourishes and Somalia thrives. We also acknowledge the invaluable support of the international community in our peace-building efforts. We express our gratitude to our partners who have stood by us, providing assistance, guidance, and resources. We remain committed to working closely with them, fostering partnership that contribute to our common goal of peaceful Somalia. On this International Day of Peace, let us remember that peace is not an elusive dream, but an unachievable reality. Let us join forces, transcend our differences, and work towards a future where peace reigns in every corner of our beloved nation. Together, let us build a peaceful Somalia where every citizen can thrive and contribute to the progress on our great nation. Lastly, many thanks to you, Peace, for organizing this event and also providing education to Somali students. Thank you, and may peace be with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Excellency. We have concluded the presentations, and listening carefully to the very important and insightful comments that we have heard today, there is a declaration that UPeace wishes to make, which is a synthesis of these comments. I think you will agree when you see it. And I would like to invite the Special Representative of the Secretary General, Ms. Lang, to read the declaration for us, which we will also see on the screen. Maybe. Please go ahead.
As called by the UN Secretary General on this International Day for Peace, actions for peace, our ambition for the global goals. We, representatives of the United Nations, students and faculty of the UN University of Peace, representatives of the Federal Government of Somalia, ambassadors to Somalia and the diplomatic community, citizens of Somalia, declare our solidarity and dedication to the realization of the Sustainable Development Goals, and achieving the SDGs will create a culture of peace and non-violence in Somalia and throughout the world.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for coming and for contributing to make this event something significant. We would like to gather everybody, if you will, for a group photo. And just in case I don't get the opportunity, to mention after the group photo, we have some vouchers. Everybody is invited for the buffet lunch in the restaurant here. But again, our heartfelt thanks to everybody from UPeace. If we can gather at the platform end, we will be able to get 2 levels